You know, I think starting all the way back to getting here at the stadium with the first, whatever that ends up being called, you know, cock walk, or I think whatever they're going to call it. You know, it was just a great atmosphere, great energy from our fans. You know, our guys felt that when they pulled up, and that, you know, that's what you want out of a home field, is to have your students involved in the band, and just, you know, I thought we had a great crowd. You know, I had a lot of respect for Jacksonville coming in. You know, I thought they, you know, I've said that many times, I thought they had a really good offense. Their quarterback stayed alive, and wow, in that first quarter, he was impressive, you know. Staying alive, third down conversion after third down conversion. And, you know, that's one of the things we pride ourselves on is making somebody earn it. And he did. And, of course, you know, I probably made a bad call going for it on fourth down. You know, I saw us stumble on the, I think probably one of their opening runs. Just, I guess, probably a little frustration. And if I had to do over again, I'd probably punt that ball. But, you know, gave them a short field with which to work with. And then we got a running game going. And really after that, really did not look back. I think we made a few adjustments on defense. And the big thing for us, offensively and defensively, we just want to continue to play hard. We play a lot of folks. And I think that's going to pay off for us. I think you saw a little bit of that tonight. They probably started wearing down a little bit. And that is one of our goals. So I just saw our guys play awfully hard. Special teams I was really proud of. I thought we played well in the special teams. So, you know, all in all, just a good night.
Coach, just talking about setting the record for rushing. Obviously, you guys, that's a great thing, but do you want more balance in the pass and the rush?
You know, it's so funny. We said that, people said, who are you? And I said, really what we want to do is what is there. You know, what are they giving you? I don't know if we'll have those kind of nights where we come out and really throw the ball well last week in some phases and then ran the ball well this week. I think you've got two different quarterbacks that's got a couple of things they're good at. I think, you know, and it's probably going to be asked here in a minute, so I'm going to go in and allude to it. You know, somebody said, you know, what about a quarterback controversy? And I said, nah, I don't think at all. I mean, it'd be the same thing we would have had last week. Max is probably, you know, a little more of the pro-style quarterback, and Eli's a little more of the play-action, zone read guy, and I like them both. You know, I think we can do both. You know, if you go out there, and this is, I mean, if you just want to look at from a defensive standpoint, which is kind of one of the things I always look at, when you put guys in press man coverage, you know, you take away the easy throws, you make somebody complete it. We had two throws that were there 2 or 3 times, and we get the ball picked. Granted, their guy made a really good play, but we underthrew the ball. But I never saw him stop the run, and that was kind of my thing. I went over to Coach Gross, who did a really good job calling up the game tonight, and I said, run the ball till they stop. I mean, you know, it's really that simple. I think we've got this play sheet. You know, a coach does so much work and gets this play sheet ready, and yet if they can't stop this play and that, you know, and I've said over there defensively thinking, please don't run that again. You know, just don't run that play again because we can't stop it. And somebody has to go down their play sheet, and that's where I come in, you know, and say, no, they have not stopped that yet. We're going to continue to run it until they do, and I think that those numbers played out.
Bill, just to get the end part out of the way so we can talk about the running game, is it safe to assume, with the way you've done things, that Eli goes back with the ones this week?
It could be assumed that. You know, I think now you're going to kind of maybe look at who we originally thought we might be. That's how Eli was ahead. But yet Eli, you know, I mean, there was a few things he's got to do better. He's got to have a number 2 receiver wide open. He's got to hit. And so we're going to be a work in progress. You know, Max wasn't here. Eli didn't even play last year. So I hope everybody bears with them, you know, because they're learning as they go. And they're learning us, and they're learning our expectations. My coaches are learning me, you know. And that was one big thing I just talked to them about the whole night was my expectations are to relax when the thing's over. You know, I've been in part of too many games where people make comebacks, and it's not, as I say all the time, it's not a fun way to live, but that's just how it is. And I will constantly be like that, and that's what I'm going to expect out of the coaches, out of the players. And when we get that mentality, we're going to be okay.
It looked like you went back to the JSU offenses of your youth. You know, I mean,
right.
You know, they've been running to Burgess,
yeah.
run it. And was that the idea, for whatever hands you put on it during the practice week, that right. It was going to be?
Well, I tell you one thing, we came in, our offensive coaches had I'll say they had an interesting meeting with the offense on Monday. and they were not pleased. And they shouldn't have been, because we left so many points out there last week. I think we all know that. Probably got a little conservative, and then we throw a pick, but we probably got a little conservative at times last week. I just think that's how we practiced this week. We had a really good week of practice. Probably and I said this earlier on the radio, when we found out that Taylor Johnstone was not back, those guys knew it was them. So it's probably helped them to not, hey, am I going to be in? Am I not going to be in? Because obviously he's a starter. So Terrence Pendleton came in, did a heck of a job. He's a good player. We knew he was a good player. We feel like we've got to have, numerous amounts of linemen to play with the style and pace we're going to play at. So, I don't know who it will be. I think it's going to be what defense is going to give us, what they're going to take away. And I've said that before. You can take away the run game. You can try to take it away with enough bodies. You can try to take the pass game away. Hopefully we can do both.
And then I know you had told me this Sunday that you were going to kind of go back over and oversee the offensive side a little bit more than what you had. How much influence do you think that had, or what did you do with them, and how much influence did you think that had on what we saw here tonight?
I think I say this all the time. The true total sense of urgency that is required is, that's my job. I think we all have roles to play. I don't really want Coach Scrawl screaming and hollering at the quarterbacks every second. They can't handle that. He wants to be intense with them. He wants to be urgent with them. Now, I want everybody to understand I'm going to coach them like we coach everybody else. We are going to make our blocks. We're going to stay with our blocks. We're going to get downfield and block. That's urgency. Well, that's the same thing I try to put with the defense. So now, I basically stayed at the 50 and hollered at everybody this week. So, but offensive coaches did a great job. Defensive coaches did a great job, and we're learning about it, urgency. We're not any means where we need to be yet, but we're starting to understand what that means.
Nobody, if the note was given to us that's correct, nobody in the FCS has had 400-yard runners in a game. It's happened 7 times on the big level, but not here. Does it blow you away to know what you did tonight with those kind of numbers?
It does. It does a little bit. I think that's, those are neat to be part of. I think it's great for our players. It's great for them to know that they can do those things. And I think if we can get that mind, that's how we've been since January in the weight room. I used to tell people, I said, please come watch us work out in the weight room. It's something I'm really proud of. Same thing at our spring practice. These guys come to work every day, and I don't mean that to say we've arrived or we're great or anything like that, but they come with a great attitude. That's the one thing they've done since I've been here. And that's the only thing we asked them to do is come to work every day. We're going to demand excellence, but I tell them all the time, you ought to be mad if we're not coaching you like that. And they demand, I think they demanded of themselves. They took coaching, and I think those things show up. And I'm so far though from being satisfied. It's just, other than the fact that if you had kept your starters in, what might could have happened? Maybe, yeah. So I can't. Maybe that's probably good that we put some other guys in. That's the morale factor though that's so huge to me, that we got a lot of guys playing. And if I work hard, I get a chance to play.
Coach, obviously the story is the way the offensive line blocked and the backs ran, but also defensively, y'all controlled their running game through your defensive line, your front seven. Could you talk a bit about how they were able to control that aspect?
Yeah, I think the nature of offense today, and you got a guy that understood it. He played quarterback in college and was a good player. And then he had his son run his offense. That's scary. There's so much offense out there from screens and multiple formations, shifts. They ran a speed sweep throw back to the quarterback, and still to get pressure on the guy. I was so proud of those guys. It's just defensively. I tell people all the time, it is so. For example, we had a walkthrough today with our offense and defense. The offense walkthrough lasts about 15 minutes, and the defense walkthrough lasts about 30. And they could have gone another hour trying to just hope you've gotten through every formation and personnel grouping, and so yeah. We kept pressure on them. That's something we're taking a lot of pride on. We kept those D linemen rolling, and those guys have got to be fresh to rush in the third and the fourth quarter. I think we did that. Because they really didn't quit trying to score, and so give our guys credit. And we brought in some subs that did a pretty good job. So I think there's a lot of good things to take away from the defense.